Netflix is strong in the pre-market on Wednesday, going up by 12.5% after a crazy earnings report. Keep watching as we go through the report as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for regular stock market updates. First up, Netflix released their Q3 report on Tuesday after the market closed, which gave analysts a surprise. The revenue estimate set by analysts was $7.85 billion, which is $80 million lower than the actual $7.93 billion. The earnings per share was predicted to be $2.22, but of course it was beaten with the reported EPS being $3.1. It's important to note that the streaming platform has added 2.41 million new users, which beats the 1 million user estimate. The company said that they aim to add 4.5 million new subscribers in the fourth quarter as they roll out cheaper plans. Netflix also took a dig at its competitors in the statement they issued, saying that other streaming platforms are most likely making losses worth billions while we make $5 to $6 billion in yearly profit. Rough results for the first and second quarter made analysts bearish, but now their views will soon be reversed. With all that in mind, let's analyze the charts. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-day chart for Netflix, and first we'll analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and in the top we'll get to the 5-minute chart. But right off the bat, we all know that the earnings report was positive, and of course after that the effect was that the stock opened in a gap up. Right now we are at a price of $270 and we'll get into the details later. First, let's quickly note out some important levels, right? So a resistance was over here at $250, which, well, we broke by a lot, so that's now a support zone. If we look at the support levels over here, right, we have a support somewhere around 163, we have another support somewhere around 192, and we also have another support around $210. This gap up over here was great, but of course we'll have to get, we'll have to put in some more effort if we want to reclaim these old levels, right? These were the post negative earning levels over here, right, of $513 and $333. So right, we'll have to get another 20% rally if we want to get back to those levels. But so I'll quickly delete all of these levels and make some new ones. So as we can see over here, if we talk about my price prediction, well, of course, with the reports that we recently received, right, the market definitely is in a beaten up condition overall, right? So Netflix was the only stock that rallied by this much. The other market, you can clearly see that, stocks like NEO have fallen by over 4%. So what does this indicate? Well, Netflix will go up, but eventually, it will come down as well. So we probably will get back from the $300 resistance. It's a psychological resistance level and a pretty strong one as well. But still, my long-term price prediction for Netflix now would probably be back into this range somewhere around $380, I believe, indicating an upside of about 37.5% from the current levels. If we try to make a prediction for 5 years, well, that is a bit difficult. But in my opinion, if Netflix continues its growth, the way it is doing, it will probably get back to this range at least in the next 2 to 3 years. So that's the peak that it made, in 2021, November 2021, that was $714. And of course, it's going to be difficult to get to that level. But if their analysis and, their estimates are correct, that they'll get 4.5 million new subscribers in the fourth quarter, well, that is a great news, and that will probably push the stock above the $300 level. So now we're up about 13.6%, but if you ask me, of course, we'll fall down again, right? So this is just kind of short term. The long term investors will, of course, buy it, right? But some will book their profits around this range, the swing traders, of course. Does that mean you should not buy? Well, probably not, right? In my opinion, it is a good bet. And of course, people were buying it before as well. So the ones that bought it over here probably are sitting in good profits. But I do believe that the stock market will get a boom around 2024. So that would push the market around $450, I guess. So that would be a 2 or 3 year price prediction, pretty much just 2 years, right? But before we do that, of course, we'll have to get a pullback around this range, right? So that's $250, of course, as we discussed, right? We probably will have to come back to this range after getting to $300 if we want to continue a healthy bull run. Now we're up 14%, which is great. But again, remember that now why do I believe that it will come back down to the $250 levels? Well, it's not exactly easy to outperform such a huge bear run, right? So the entire market as we know it is in a bear run, in a recession pretty much. So Netflix would probably have to comply with that market, of course, follow the trend, go down. But with that being said, I believe we should head into the 1 hour chart. Now that we're in the 1 hour chart, we can clearly see that we got a pin bar candle on the negative side on 18th October. So if you look closely over here, this pretty much was a negative pin bar candle, right? It did indicate that buyers in the end got control of the candle, but it did not mean that the buyers are in control. So in my opinion, this could have resulted negatively if it weren't for the positive earnings report. But if we look at the current scenario with the positive earnings report, we'll probably, so if we look at the patterns over here, we'll probably have to come back to these $260 range, if we want to continue a healthy bull run. But of course, that is not going to happen today. We are currently at $277 and we might as well just break the $280 range, which if we do, we might just form another range around the $280 zone, right? So that'll support us. And once a support level is established over here, we'll probably continue to bounce from it and, get maybe a few double bottoms. And after that, we'll probably continue the bull run from over there. Now, it is a bit hard to predict whether we'll, break this or not. But in my opinion, of course, the stock will get to the. If you ask me, it will, of course, be difficult to break the $280 support zone once we get into it, right? Currently, it's acting as a resistance. But one thing is for sure that Netflix is getting back on its feet and it knows what it's doing. They'll probably recover from this entire slump that they've gotten into. So if you ask me if the stock is a buy or not, I personally would rather take the risk for it to come back to these levels of $250, $260, and then I would probably buy. But if you want to buy it still at a good price, in my opinion, of course, not financial advice. But with that being said, let's quickly analyze what's going on in the day in the 5-minute chart. Now that we're in the 5-minute chart, we can clearly see that today we got pretty much an absolute bull run over here. We did get somewhat of an, inside candle over here, which indicated some indecision. But now we're finally getting a much needed pullback from around the $277.5 range, right? I believe that we'll probably get supported somewhere around, let's see, well, I marked that by accident, that's not the support. We'll probably get supported by somewhere around 270 first, right? So that's $270. And then another support is around $268 pretty much. That is a small support. After that, another support would probably be around $265, right? And after that, another psychological support at $260. However, I doubt that we'll get to those levels today. We'll probably get a bounce back from the $270 level, in my opinion. And even getting to the $270 with the current buying pressure is pretty difficult. But as you guys already know, they say that you should buy. Even getting to the $270 range should be a bit difficult with the current buying pressure, but as you guys know, they say that you should buy the rumor and sell the news, so that kinda is what's happening right now. So in my opinion, here's what should happen, right? It should probably get back to this range. Now this is just, in my opinion, of a perfect, or rather, a good bull run at least, right? It's not in something completely news ridden. But if we look at the technical aspect only, we'll probably get back to this range. And from here, we'll get a rebound, maybe test this range again, right? Get a smaller rebound, squeeze into this range, break it. And, by the end of the day, we'll probably get a pullback back into this range. And of course, from the $280 level. So once we get that, we'll probably continue our bear run. And once that is done, of course, we'll get back to the $260 range, 255 pretty much. And after that, we'll continue. Wait, why did I do that? Let me just quickly clear out these drawings. From there, we'll probably, get a rebound back into these areas, and then we might just continue our bull run. So with that being said, I am bullish on the Netflix stock for at least the long term, but I do know that the market is not in its best condition right now. So is it the best time to buy or not? Well, let me know in the comments down below. I personally think that it's not the best time to buy, but of course that's not financial advice and you should always do your own research before you trade. If however you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit the dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel Stox 101 for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.